Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome to day 665 of trying a new makeup product every day. The product that I'm trying out today is so beautiful. This is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Chisel palette. And seriously, you hold this palette and you just feel like it is so special, so luxurious. Let me take it out of the packaging. It's like a full metal palette, but then it has this like rose gold snakeskin to it. And oh my gosh, it's just so pretty and shiny. But so this was actually my free gift for signing up for BoxyCharm in November. And this has a $45 value. So I'm really excited to try this out. Here is what it looks like. You get this big mirror and you get 2 matte highlight shades and 3 bronzers. Whenever I open this, I notice like a nice sweet smell, kind of like a white chocolate smell. But when reading about this, I didn't read anything about it having a scent to it, so it just smells nice to me for whatever reason. It says chiseled like a diamond on the mirror there. That's funny. It says it right there. But so I'm gonna be honest, when I look at this palette, I kind of feel intimidated. It's probably because I'm like, which bronzer shade do I use? Where do I apply them? What do I do with these matte highlighters? That's so different than what I think of when I think of highlighter. But I'm really excited to try this out, hopefully break it down. It's funny that I feel intimidated by a palette with only 6 shades when I've been doing makeup reviews every day for almost 2 years. But I was trying to read up on this online so that I have a better idea on what to do. To start out, it says take the shade Enhance, and that's more of the yellow toned highlighter, and that should help to cancel out darkness under the eyes. So using that as the setting powder on top of concealer sounds pretty nice. So I'm gonna pick up my dampened beauty sponge and I just dipped it in the powder here. Let's see. Oh yeah. It does have a yellow tone to it. I wasn't sure if that would be too yellow on my skin tone because I have a cool undertone to my skin tone, and when something has yellow to it, it doesn't always look right on my skin. But I think that looks pretty good. See the difference? It does look brightened. Let's see how it does on the other eye. And I'm having a very easy time applying it with the dampened sponge here. Yeah, it's not like blowing me away, but it'll do, especially if I'm bringing this palette for travel or something and I need a setting powder for my concealer. I think that's a good option. Yellow tones are supposed to cancel out darkness as kind of color correcting, so that's good to have. And then you get more of a cool toned highlighter here, which is just like a matte powder, and I'll apply that after I do my contouring. But I don't even know which contour shade to use, so when that happens, I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch them, and that'll help me decide which shade to use. Ooh, that's swatched beautifully, and it has some shine to it. So they look very similar. They all almost seem like warm undertones. But from the swatches, it looks like this one here is the lightest with more of the coolest undertone, which I wouldn't even consider it a cool undertone, but just kind of compared to the other ones. But so I think that will be my contour shade. And then I'm gonna go in with this one here as my bronzer. So I'm gonna start out with my bronzer. So that's the shade called Princess Cut, and I'm just picking up my fluffy face brush And I'm going to apply this to all the parts of my face where I like to add some color and some sun-kissed effect. Also where I like to apply the contour, but in less of a focused area, because then I'll go back in with my contour shade. I'm definitely getting a lot of kickback in this palette. Very easy to blend out though. And now that I'm seeing this shade on my skin tone, I really like this color, this princess cut shade. Definitely want to add some bronze and sun-kissed look to the top of my forehead and then along the side of my face. So this has Amazonian clay in it, and it's very easy to blend out. So that helps it become less intimidating to me, since it is so easy to apply. And if at first the shade looks too dark, by just blending it out, it becomes less intense of a shade. But that's definitely adding some nice touch of color to my skin tone, adding some dimension. And I just like to do a little bit to my nose. So yeah, that was actually pretty subtle. So I am going to go ahead and add a little bit more. Yeah, you can see that actually builds up really nicely. And this color just looks so smooth on the skin. Like, this formula is so blendable. I love it. The brush that I'm using is just a Wet n Wild angled brush that you can get at the Dollar Tree, but I absolutely love this brush. It's the kind, you can't tell right now, that has the pink at the top of the bristles. So good. I've been using this brush for a very long time, and it stays in perfect condition every time after I wash it. And it's been probably a few years that I've had this, and I wash it all the time and it's still perfect. I mean, it's wearing away. The white has come off, but it still applies perfectly. But so there is my bronzed up complexion. I'm really happy with that princess cut shade. I'll definitely use that some more. But now I'm gonna go ahead and add that contour with the shade Angle. Oh, that's perfect for a contour shade name. So that's this shade right here. Oh, and I just had an idea of what I can do with these lighter shades, these matte highlight shades as well. So I'm just applying this to where I want to add that contour, that cheek shape, but I'm applying it a little bit messy. Like, I'm not really paying too close attention to how big of a contour I'm making, because what I'm going to do now is pick up my dampened sponge again and pick up the halo shade here, and I'm going to cut the contour. So I just like to make a line. You can see I'm just making a line to like the corner of my mouth from the top of my ear. And I'll kind of bake in this way. And that helps to give the contour the exact shape that I want and clean up the lines. So this powder is perfect for doing that cut and bake technique. But now let's see, will this halo shade work as a highlighter up here? No. I prefer a reflective, shiny highlighter here, because then it gives some glow to the skin. So I definitely don't think I'll use this as like my matte highlighter on my cheeks. But now let's brush away that bake. Kind of blend it out, and there we go. A nice perfected contour shape. Okay, so I think I figured out the uses for my skin tone, my face shape for this palette, and it's definitely using the shade Enhance to set my under eye concealer, using the shade Halo as the cut for the contour. I found that Princess Cut is my perfect bronzer shade, and Angle is a great contour shade for me. So I love the finished look to my makeup, to my skin. I think I have more dimension, more color, and I'm really happy with how it all blended out, how it applied. I'm happy with the pigment. So this is a very successful palette. If you are someone that's like me and kind of intimidated by the whole contour highlighting of this palette, I hope that this video helped you and gave you some tips on how to simplify and make those techniques work for you, because in the end this palette actually really does make it easy, since you get the two light shades to touch up the contouring that you end up doing, and since it's so easy to blend out, so easy to apply, it makes it very easy to work with. But thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see the makeup that I try every day, and I will see you tomorrow in my next video.